kid said. "I wish we could stay here forever," the girl said. "It's like paradise." "It is paradise," the kid said. "We're from Buffalo," she explained. Shake smiled. The girl gazed out at the moonlit sea, at the flames of the tiki torches snapping around in the breeze. "Was it your dream?" the girl asked Shake, "to own your own restaurant in a place like this?" "It was," he said, though he didn't mention where the dream had been dreamed. Long nights in the sweat-soured darkness of Block A, staring at the wall while his celly in the tray above grunted and flopped in his sleep. It had been Shake's second stretch for Grand Theft Auto, but 20 years down the line. Shake no longer a boy, but a professional wheelman of some repute, and determined, once he walked out of the Mule Creek State Correctional Facility, to walk a straight path and never again wobble off it. Well, that hadn't worked out exactly as planned. There had been a few wobbles, but now, finally, here Shake was. Palm trees and palapas and grilled lobster with a tequila lime sauce that did, if he did say so himself, rock. "You really have the life," the kid said with a sigh. Shake smiled again, tighter this time. "You don't know the half of it," he said. If Shake's first thought whenever he stepped onto the veranda of his restaurant was straight off a postcard, his first thought whenever he pushed through the double doors into the kitchen was usually, shit. Tonight, the waiter was cursing the prep cook in Spanish, the prep cook was cursing back in English and waving around a boning knife, and the grease trap was on fire. Business as usual, in other words. "Armando!" Shake yelled. "Roger!" They shut up, but neither made a move for the fire extinguisher. Shake grabbed it himself and poured foam on the grease trap. When the flames were dead, he showed the fire extinguisher to Roger, the prep cook. "Ever seen one of these before?" Shake asked. "Just curious." Roger was a scrawny, recovering alcoholic from Detroit who spent most of his shift recovering from the alcohol he drank on his breaks. He thought about the question. "Fire extinguisher," he said. "Shit, sure I have. Hit a Arab with one time. 7-Eleven store outside Gary, Indiana. Pissant tried to kick me in the nuts." As hard as it was to believe, Roger was the best of the dozen or so prep cooks Shake had hired and fired over the past 2 years. "Why he do that?" Armando the waiter asked. He was a mestizo from Guatemala, barely 5 feet tall. Not a drinker, just foul-tempered and forgetful. Exactly the qualities you wanted in a waiter. "I was robbing him," Roger said, "and I dropped my screwdriver." "Hijo Jesús," Armando said. "Pinche idiota. Screw you, greasy little bean-eater." Shake felt a headache building, chugging toward him, a freight train ready to flatten him where he stood. He'd worked in kitchens before. He'd known that running his own restaurant wouldn't be easy. But he'd never guessed just how unbelievably not easy it would turn out to be. Fights in the kitchen, fires in the kitchen, crooked suppliers and corrupt inspectors, third-world wiring and fourth-world plumbing, tropical storms, swine flu scares, cockroaches the size of lobsters, and, bane of Shake's existence, the internet, where a single bad review on TripAdvisor could kill business like a stake through the heart. Idaba, the hostess, pushed through the doors. A Garifuna woman in her 60s with a tie-dyed head wrap and big gold nose ring, she was Shake's only competent employee. She made sure he never forgot it. She looked around. "Problem?" Shake studied her, but it was impossible to tell if she was being ironic. She had a hell of a straight face, grave and expressionless. Her big block head like something the ancient Mayans had carved out of dark volcanic rock and killed sacrificial goats on. "Problem?" He kicked fire extinguisher foam off his shoe and raised his voice because Armando and Roger were still cursing each other. "Why would you think that?" She might have frowned at him, might not have. Again, impossible to tell. "The 9 o'clock foretop cancelled," she said. Shake grimaced. That left them with only 12 covers for the night, 8 the night before. That put them deep in the red for the night, the month, the year. Ever since January, when the resort located up the beach had switched over to an all-inclusive meal plan and sucked up half their business. They'd been in the red even before then, to be honest. Running his own restaurant in Belize was by far the most stressful job Shake had ever had.